Hello, my beloved Cancer. If you've been feeling a strange heaviness in your chest lately, a quiet restlessness that follows you from dream to daylight, then I need you to lean in, just a little closer, because what you're feeling isn't in your head. It's not a phase, it's a signal. Something ancient is stirring beneath the surface of your soul, and it's calling you by name. Perhaps you've noticed the same numbers, repeating 222909 or 7 to 7. Perhaps you've been waking at strange hours of the night, heart racing but not from fear, more like anticipation. Or maybe it's just a quiet knowing that something is about to shift, something you can't explain, but you can't ignore either. You feel it in your bones, in your breath, in the way time seems to bend lately, like you're standing still, waiting for something that has been waiting for you. Cancer, if you're here right now, it's because you're meant to be. This is not just a video. This is not entertainment. This is a message, a map, a mirror, and it's arriving at the exact moment your soul is ready to remember why it chose this path. Because September 20th, 2025, is not just another day on the calendar. It is a spiritual threshold, a soul gate, a once-in-a-decade alignment that only opens for those who have walked through the storm, carrying light in their heart when the world gave them darkness. And Cancer, that's you. You've been the quiet healer, the emotional anchor, the one who gave love even when your hands were empty. You've carried the weight of others' wounds, bandaged them with your care, and asked for nothing in return. And now, after 10 years of holding on, letting go, holding on again, the universe is preparing something that can only be described as sacred compensation, a return, a divine recalibration. In this video, I won't just tell you what's coming. I'll walk with you through the deeper truth. Why things had to fall apart. Why certain doors never opened. Why you were delayed, silenced, and stretched thin, only to now be called forward into the most powerful chapter of your soul's journey. So I want you to do something right now. Breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Make yourself a warm cup of tea or coffee. Light a candle if you feel called. Let this moment be yours. Because what you're about to hear is not casual content. It's a soul initiation, a remembering, a release. And before we begin, I want you to pause and type these words below in the comments. I am ready to receive what the universe has been saving for me. Not just as an affirmation, but as a declaration, a key. Because when you say it out loud or even type it, you're telling the universe, I'm listening, I'm ready, I'm open. So now, the only question left is, are you ready to remember why you've been walking through the fire all this time? Because what's coming next is not just healing, it's your return. Cancer, let's talk about the weight you've been carrying, because I know you feel it not always in words, not always in thoughts, but in the soft ache that lives in your chest, the kind that doesn't scream, it just lingers quietly, like a secret you've kept even from yourself. For the past 10 years, you've been the emotional spine of people's lives, the silent strength, the one who holds space, listens deeply, feels fully. And yet, how many times did your softness get mistaken for weakness? How many nights did you cry quietly into your pillow so no one would worry, so no one would feel bad for you, so you could be the strong one? Just a little longer. You gave everything, your time, your care, your light to people who didn't always know what they were receiving. And you didn't do it for recognition. You did it because that's who you are. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And like the moon, you light up the darkness of others while hiding your own shadows. You've been the sanctuary, the emotional anchor, the one everyone runs to when their world collapses. But tell me, When your world collapsed, where did you run? You see, for a decade, you've been walking through your karmic corridor, not because you were being punished, but because your soul chose to take on the sacred role of emotional alchemist. You turned pain into compassion, betrayal into wisdom, loneliness into deep inner knowing. And you did it quietly, without applause, without anyone knowing how hard it truly was. There were days, maybe months, when you felt like you were standing still while everyone else was moving ahead. You saw people find love while you were healing from heartbreaks no one even knew about. You saw people succeed while you were piecing yourself back together in silence. You gave love without expecting it to return, and slowly a doubt began to creep in. Am I too much? Too sensitive? Too soft for this world? But the truth is, Cancer, you are not too much. You were simply never meant to fit into a world that glorifies numbness. You were sent here to feel, to awaken others through the sheer intensity of your heart. And that is why your path has been different. Why your trials were never about failure. They were about refining your essence, purifying your frequency, preparing you for something greater. Because what most people don't realize is that the deepest souls walk the darkest roads. And you, my dear Cancer, have walked through a decade of emotional fire. You've survived disappointments that would have broken others. You've held yourself together in rooms where no one saw your trembling. And you've kept believing in love, in goodness, in second chances, even when you had every reason to give up. But here's the sacred truth no one told you. Those weren't just hard years. They were initiation years. Your soul was being shaped, carved, prepared. Every tear you shed in silence became a drop of light in your energetic bank account. Every time you stayed loyal to your heart in a world that told you to shut it down, you were building spiritual credit. And now, after 10 years of accumulation, the universe is ready to pay you back in full. But before we talk about what's coming, we have to honor what you've survived. You've endured the kind of loneliness that doesn't come from being alone, but from being unseen. You've been surrounded by people and still felt invisible. You've been the one who remembered birthdays, who sent check-in texts, who forgave before apologies were ever given. You've been the emotional safe space for people who never asked how you were doing. And sometimes, that made you question your worth, made you wonder if you were simply too fragile, too naive, too hopeful. But here's what I need you to understand. Your emotional depth is not a flaw, it's a superpower. And while others were chasing surface-level victories, you were cultivating soul strength. You weren't overlooked. You were being hidden, not to be forgotten, but to be revealed at the right time. Because Cancer, your life has not been a linear path. It's been a sacred spiral. Every detour, every delay, every heartbreak wasn't setting you back. It was setting you apart. And now, as we approach the soul gate of September 20th, everything begins to make sense. You didn't waste those years. You endured them, transcended them. You've passed the test. You have been chosen to rise. And now, we arrive at the gate. September 20th, 2025. A date you may have glanced at on a calendar without realizing that something sacred, something ancient, was already being written into your timeline. Cancer, this is not just another day. It is not random. It is not coincidental. This is the moment the universe whispers to your soul. It is done. Your karmic contract signed lifetimes ago, lived through in tears, ache, and silence is finally complete. This is the checkpoint you've been walking toward for the last 10 years without knowing it. Every delayed dream, every closed door, every goodbye you never got to say, all of it was leading you here, to this exact moment in space and time. Astrologically, everything is aligned. The sun, after weeks traveling through Virgo, a sign of purification, cleansing, order, and service, is now preparing to enter Libra, the sign of sacred balance, divine fairness, and soul harmony. It's as if the cosmos itself is shifting from survival to serenity, from overthinking to alignment. And here's where it gets deeper. The moon, your ruling planet, your celestial mother, is entering a phase of emotional release. Whether it's a full moon or a thinning veil of energy, there will be a wave rising from within you, a tender ache, a quiet grief, not of sadness, but of shedding. Your soul is preparing to peel off the version of yourself that only existed in survival mode. And like all sacred deaths, it may come with a strange, bittersweet feeling, a deep sadness wrapped in softness. But don't fear it, because this isn't the sadness of being lost. It's the ache of being found. You see, Cancer, you've cried not just for yourself, but for others, for your ancestors, for the parts of your lineage that never got to heal. You've carried burdens that weren't yours. You've felt guilt that didn't belong to you. You've wept tears others were too afraid to feel. And on this day, the universe returns the favor. On September 20th, the light finds you. Not the kind of light that blinds, but the kind that washes over you like warm water. The kind that holds you, that says, you can let go now. You don't have to carry it anymore. This is the day your emotional body begins to reset. The moment your nervous system exhales. The instant when grief finally stops knocking on your chest. Because peace has finally come home. Energetically, this day acts like a switch. A soul switch. And when you choose to meet it with intention, with awareness, with reverence, you activate a new timeline. One where you no longer have to prove your worth. One where you don't have to shrink to be loved. One where your softness is celebrated, not punished. And you might feel it not in loud ways, but in the quietest ones. A gentle weight lifting off your chest as you wake up. A memory that used to sting, suddenly losing its power. A sigh that feels like 1,000 past versions of you are finally being set free. You might feel an urge to cry without knowing why. Let it come. Let it flow. Because these are not tears of weakness. They are waters of release. Evidence that your soul is being rinsed clean. Cancer, this is your baptism by light. You've spent years being cracked open by darkness. Now, you are being sealed with gold. The universe is closing a decade-long karmic chapter and handing you the key to the one that follows. Not because you begged for it, but because you earned it. With every act of grace. With every moment you chose love over resentment. With every second you kept going, when giving up would have been easier. And the beauty of this day is not just in what it ends, but in what it begins. It is the soft ignition of your next era. A timeline where your intuition is no longer questioned, but trusted. Where your gifts are no longer hidden, but honored. Where your love is no longer tested, but received. This is not the universe rewarding you. This is the universe remembering you as you truly are. So don't be surprised if the world begins to look different. Time may feel slower or faster. Certain people may fade. Old dreams may resurface. And something in your bones will whisper, everything is shifting because I am. This is soul recalibration. This is the inner tides turning. This is the light you've been waiting for, finding its way into the very center of your chest. Because Cancer, your tears have watered this new beginning. And now, the seeds are ready to bloom. And then, something shifts. It may not be loud. It may not come with lightning or fireworks. But you'll feel it. In the days and weeks after September 20th, a subtle new rhythm will begin to play in your life. And this time, Cancer, it's playing for you. You won't need to hustle, chase, beg, or over-explain. The tide has turned, and the current is finally moving in your favor. Let's begin with your career. The path that, for so long, felt uphill, full of delays and silent efforts that went unnoticed. After the gate opens, opportunities will begin to flow in, not from the places you expected, but from the spaces that felt once closed, silent, or even lost. An old contact, someone who once overlooked you, might reappear with a different energy. A proposal, a partnership, a second look. But this time, the power is in your hands, because you're no longer coming from lack. You're standing in alignment. No more proving, no more pleasing. You're not here to chase anything. You've become magnetic, and things begin to find you. Money begins to move again, but not just from your salary. No, this is Cancer we're talking about. The sign of hidden wealth, of ancestral blessings, of soul-aligned flow. That means unexpected refunds, surprise gifts, random discounts, a small jackpot win, or even support from a person who sees your worth without you asking. You may check your account and find a mysterious deposit. You may receive a message about an old payment being returned. This is not luck, it's energetic justice, because you gave. You gave without expectation. You gave when you had little. And now, the universe gives back. And then there's love. Oh, Cancer, this is the part that might make your voice tremble, your heart beat faster, not out of fear, but recognition. A presence enters or re-enters your life, not to test you, not to trigger your wounds, but to finally see you. They speak your language, even in silence. They understand your moods, your softness, your spirals, without needing an explanation. You don't have to tone yourself down, apologize for your sensitivity, or hide the parts of you that feel too much. Because to them, those very parts are why they love you, and it won't feel like a fairy tale. It will feel like a homecoming, like a remembering. This isn't the person who mirrors your past pain. This is the one who aligns with your healed self. Someone who doesn't demand you shapeshift for love. Someone who says, stay as you are. That's more than enough. And when that happens, a layer inside you softens. The part that's been on high alert for years, bracing for abandonment, waiting for betrayal, finally lets go, because you realize love is not something you have to earn anymore. It's something you simply receive, and on a soul level, everything deepens. Your intuition sharpens. You'll begin to feel things before they happen. You'll hear the subtle shifts in energy. You'll just know who to trust, when to move, when to rest. It won't be a dramatic psychic awakening. It'll be like an inner compass that finally works again. After being broken for too long, you'll no longer second-guess your feelings. Your inner voice won't have to shout, it'll speak softly. And you'll listen. Because you trust yourself now. Not the outside noise. Not the opinions of people who never walked your path. You might begin to dream differently. More vivid. More symbolic. More emotionally charged. You may wake up with answers you didn't ask for. Clarity that wasn't taught, but remembered. That's your soul intelligence returning. And something else happens, quietly but powerfully. You're no longer afraid of being alone, because you finally become the one you were always looking for. You become your own sanctuary, your own healer, your own safe place. And in that wholeness, you stop attracting chaos. You stop repeating patterns. You stop choosing pain in disguise. You become the version of yourself that lives from fullness, not longing. So yes, Cancer, life begins to bloom after the 20th of September, not in loud explosions, but in soft alignments, in the way people speak to you, with more respect, in the way doors open without you knocking, in the way you feel lighter, softer, stronger, clearer, because you've done the hard part. You've walked through a decade of inner winter, and now it's your spring. So don't rush this. Don't question it. Don't minimize it. Instead, receive it. Let life surprise you. Let the blessings find you. Let the love flow toward you. You've earned every second of this soft return. And now, Cancer, we arrive at the most sacred part of this message, because it's not enough to just hear. It's not enough to just feel. To truly cross the threshold of transformation, you must choose to act. Because when you act with sacred intention, you shift from witnessing your destiny to participating in it. This is not superstition. This is energetic alignment. A ritual is not about magic, it's about presence. It's the way we say to the universe, I'm not just hoping, I'm ready. On the night of September 19th, the veil between what was and what will be becomes thin. It is the moment of transition, of endings bleeding into beginnings. The perfect night to release, to cleanse, to signal your readiness. Find a quiet space. Let it be still. Light a white candle, symbol of rebirth, of clarity, of cosmic truth. Take a sheet of paper and write, with full presence and heart, this declaration: my soul has paid its karmic debt. I am ready to receive my new destiny. Do not rush it. Let the words flow through you. Feel them rise from your chest. Fold the paper with reverence. Burn it safely. And as the flame devours your past, pour the ashes into a bowl of salt water, a sacred symbol of release and purification. Watch the residue dissolve. That is your old life leaving your field. And then, on the morning of September 20th, rise with intention. Before the world rushes in, before notifications, before tasks, sit with yourself, in silence. Near a window or under soft, natural light, allow yourself 5 minutes to simply be. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly, and imagine a silver light, the gentle glow of the moon, your planet, flowing down from above, entering the crown of your head, pouring softly into your chest, settling in your heart. This light is not random, it is your remembrance. Let it pulse within you like a quiet knowing. Let it tell your cells, we are no longer surviving, we are blooming. Breathe into it. Let your body feel the shift. This is not a performance. It is a reunion with yourself. Cancer, this ritual is not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it presently. The universe does not require perfection. It requires participation. And when you show up, even in the smallest way, the energies begin to move. The gate does not open with thunder. It opens with your yes, your whisper, your decision to no longer delay the life that was always meant for you. So I ask you now, will you say yes? Let this be your turning point. Not just a day you watched a video, but the day your soul stood up and said, I'm ready. If your heart is beating faster, if something inside you is trembling, don't ignore it. That's the signal. That's the alignment. That's your spirit. Remembering the reason it chose this timeline, this sign, this life. Cancer. Leave a comment now and declare it out loud to the universe. I've paid my karmic debt. September 20th is my gateway. Your words have power. Let them echo across time. Let them become your activation. And if this message stirred something in you, if it made you cry, remember, or feel deeply seen, then let the energy keep flowing. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and stay close, because this is only the beginning. The next messages will go deeper into what happens when your timeline fully opens. The symbols, the signs, the secrets of abundance waiting to be unlocked. There's more magic coming, more light, more remembering. But for now, Trust this. Your life has already started shifting. Because you heard the call. You answered. And now, everything changes. You are no longer waiting. You are arriving. You are no longer healing alone. You are guiding others through the very darkness you once crawled through. So light your candle. Write your truth. Burn the past. And walk forward. Cancer, this is your sacred return. And the universe is already celebrating you. So now, Cancer, take one deep breath. Let the words you've heard sink in, not just into your mind, but into your cells, your bones, your being. What you've just experienced was never meant to be just a video. It was a sacred mirror, a soul transmission, a gentle yet powerful reminder that you are not lost, not forgotten, not behind. You are arriving. You are stepping into a new era, and September 20th is the marker on the timeline of your destiny when everything shifts, not because you forced it, but because you finally remembered who you are. You've walked through storms that no one saw. You've cried behind doors that no one knocked on. You've loved people who didn't understand your depth. And you kept giving, even when your heart was running on empty. But now, the tide turns. Now, the energy that once tested you begins to reward you. Not because you earned it, but because you've endured it with grace, with courage, with a kind of soul strength that can't be taught, only lived. Cancer, you were never just emotional. You were never weak. You are the healer, the channel, the soft place where the universe lands when it wants to send love into this world. That's why your journey has been so deep. That's why your nights were longer. Because you were being carved, not for survival, but for service. Not to be rescued, but to become the light others find when they feel like giving up. And this is what this video was always about. A sacred activation, a spark to remind you. You are not meant to wait forever. You are meant to rise, to receive, to finally let the love, the abundance, the clarity find you. And now, you know what to do. Because knowledge without action is just noise. But a soul that acts with intention, that's when destiny moves. So if this message resonated with you, I ask you now, anchor it, make it real, declare it to the universe and to yourself by commenting below. I've paid my karmic debt. 9/20 is my soul gate. These words are not just affirmation, they are activation. They are a beacon. And when you speak them from truth, watch how quickly the universe responds. Some of you will receive a dream. Others will hear a name. Some will see repeating numbers. This is no accident. That is the reply from the unseen, telling you you're in alignment now. And if this video touched something in you, if it made you breathe deeper, cry softer, or simply remember that you are not alone, then please, like this video. Subscribe to this channel, not for me, but for the energy we're building together. Every click sends ripples into the universe. Every subscription brings us closer to creating a sacred space for thousands, maybe millions, of souls just like you. And if you feel called to support this light, reaching others around the world, consider leaving a super thanks. Your kindness keeps this message flowing. Your energy fuels this mission. And in return, you are sowing blessings into your own timeline. Because generosity is a frequency, and frequencies always return. Before we close, I want to remind you of one simple truth. You are worthy of love that stays. You are worthy of wealth that supports your dreams. You are worthy of peace that no longer needs to be earned. You were never too much. You were just waiting for the world to rise to your frequency. And now, it island. So tell me, beautiful soul, what part of your spirit are you ready to unlock next? What kind of message would you love to hear in our next sacred video? Comment below and let me know. This channel is your home. Your voice matters here. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Thank you for feeling so deeply, for remembering so bravely, for healing so quietly. I'll see you very soon, under the light of our next soul message. Until then, stay open, stay glowing, and never forget, you are the miracle. September 20th is not your ending, it's your beginning. You are not broken, you are blooming, and the universe is already celebrating you.